So after graduation, what are you thinking? What's your move?
So after graduation, I knew I was going to move to LA eventually, but I wasn't ready to pull the trigger yet. So with my college girlfriend, she went to med school in Houston, and I went and did Teach for America in Houston for 2 years.
Oh, wait. What's Teach for America? Remind me?
Teach for America is like a Peace Corps for teachers. So it is a service institution that puts recent college graduates in inner city and rural schools.
Okay.
And you teach for 2 years kids, like in public schools.
Oh, wow.
So I graduate from college in May. Then I spend the majority of that summer in Houston training to be a classroom teacher. And then in August, I was a 4th grade teacher at an elementary school.
Wait, so you're just cheaper teacher labor?
No, you get paid the same. Here's what it is. It's finding passionate college graduates to go and do the service, like public service for 2 years. But it's a concentration on teaching. So you are...
But why wouldn't they want you to just do it for the rest of your time?
Oh, they do. They do.
Oh.
But you make a 2-year commitment. It's
Gotcha.
a 2-year commitment in the same way that like Peace Corps is a couple years
Gotcha.
or you know.
And then they want you to be peaceful the rest of your life. Gotcha.
Yeah. But what they do and what they find is like a lot of people who go into that either continue teaching and they go on and they open charter schools, and you know the whole goal being like to revolutionize teaching.
Sure.
Because there's this huge, not to get too like in this comedy podcast, but there's a huge education gap in our country, right? Between like the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah.
And I was a part of that for a couple of years and can certainly attest to that. My mother's a teacher, and so the goal of this program is to take excited, youthful people and get them invested in the cause. And the ones that don't stay and teach, a lot of them go into public service and become lawyers or like humanitarians or that sort of thing. And then there's this rare percentage that as soon as they're done, jump in a car and move to Los Angeles because they're like, I did my duty.
Wait, so you did it because your mom was a teacher for a time?
No, I did it. Like the honest answer is I did it because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And
it
I
was
knew,
safe.
and it was, it wasn't safe, but it was like something that I could go like, I'll learn from this. I'll be proud of this.
Yeah.
And it was also, and I am very proud of that 2 years because it was 2 years of not being selfish, you know, like
giving back,
coming out of college, giving back, and it was really, really tough. Like,
I bet
it was really, really, really tough.
The mean streets of Houston.
Mean streets of Houston. That part wasn't tough. I think the tough part, you know, because like the schools and stuff are in, but
I feel like if yes anded everything, and then right there you're just like, nope, that is incorrect.
That part wasn't tough. No, because I don't want to like. It's something that I am still very passionate about, and I feel like that's the misconception is that like the schools and stuff are scary, and this like it wasn't. That was
it's everywhere. It's not just a problem of tough neighborhoods. It happens everywhere. There's lack of teaching.
Yeah, and the tough part of it, honestly, is like the thing that people rail against is like big institutions, you know, or big. Everything hinges on state tests and things like that. So I was a 4th grade writing teacher who sometimes got told, not by my administration, but by other people, don't teach kids how to use dialogue in their stories, like quotation marks.
Yeah.
Don't teach them that style of punctuation because they'll try it during the test and they'll mess up and they'll get docked for it.
Oh, that's annoying.
So just don't teach them how to write conversation.
It's so annoying.
That's how we'll fix that.
It's so annoying.
And it's like, don't teach them to write creative stuff because it'll be confusing to the reader.
It's
like,
so
have
annoying.
them just write essays. And, you know.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah. So,
well, good for you for doing that. Did you enjoyed your time doing it?
I enjoyed it. It's one of the things that it also weighs on my conscience a little bit too.
In what way?
In that I left it, and a lot of the people that I worked with stayed, and they still like fight the good fight, and they're passionate about it. But it was something that it didn't like. I wasn't passionate about it. It was more tough, and I had during the summer of my first year teaching, and the first year was really rough. Second year I started to figure it out, and I think if you continue on that course, like you figure it out and you're good. It was just that it was the first yearness of it that was really tough. But
it's a weird thing in like the idea of giving to others and also self-actualization. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Some people find self-actualization. Some people find their purpose in giving to others. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people that are good at giving to others don't find it in that. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing like that. Because I feel like I could be a good teacher in another world too, but it's just not something that is what I feel like I would need to do.
Well, here's what happened is like 10 years later, I now have the privilege to like, and the opportunity to start teaching improv.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
And everything lined up. Like that's what it is. It's like, this thing that I love to do,
right,
which is like to perform and do long form comedy, is now bumping heads with this thing that I'm pretty good at, which is like talking to people and teaching and classroom management and things like that. And so
it all comes
now
around.
because like I think the best joy as a teacher is teaching somebody who wants and craves that knowledge. You know? And that was the thing too, is like when I had a fourth grader who loved to write stories, that was easy.
Right.
But when I had a fourth grader who didn't like writing and also, was never taught how and wasn't given the resources to do that, that's tough because they're already they need to be inspired and I was able to inspire a lot of the kids to write and part of that was like going like, let's be creative with it.
Right.
That's how this can be fun, is you get to make up the stories.
Yeah. It all comes from you, not your parents.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.